Hello, hello. Good morning, everyone. JLR investigates. Good afternoon. Some people might be the afternoon. Some people might be the evening. Some might be early morning. Wherever you are, thanks for tuning in. I know a lot of people are in the chat and a lot of people pay attention to this particular case. We've been on this case of Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers from day one. So appreciate all of you that are coming in. This case always gets attention, and I appreciate all of you when I have things to say and when I show you guys receipts and I give you my input. I know a lot of people are interested in hearing what I have to say. Sebastian, today is 6 months, folks. 6 months is way too long, and he hasn't been found. So February 26th, 2024 is when his mom and his stepfather, his mom, Katie Lynn Proudfoot, a.k.a. Katie Lynn Rogers, a.k.a. Katie Lynn Payne, and Sebastian's stepfather, who was married to Katie, Christopher Andrew Proudfoot, they reported Sebastian missing during the early morning hours of February 26th. I still think the 25th is seriously in play on this case. You might have another opinion. They reported him missing 620-ish. Still hasn't been found. We've been hearing everyone say everything. Katie and Chris really don't speak anymore. Seth and Tony Mathis do. And I titled this video, Seth Lashes Out, because he did lash out, folks. He did lash out. He put out a very interesting statement last night, Seth, calling out the sheriff's office. I'm going to share with you a clip where Seth calls the sheriff a serious derogatory name at the vigil the other day, at the Sebastian motorcycle ride the other day. Couple media outlets are reporting on this case today and calling something that's happening at the Sumner County Sheriff's Office as a rally, but we know it's not. We know it's a protest. Protest to clear Seth's name. It's already been stamped in and understood. It's not really about Sebastian today at the Sumner County Sheriff's Office, listening to prior statements from these individuals, posts that they made in other prior media outlets. Yeah, this is a protest, but the media, I don't know, the media is misinformed, or the media is, I don't know what's up with the media, but we know the media hasn't really been accurate on this case. Seth Rogers claims that the sheriffs told him yesterday, Major Perry is one of the investigators on this case. Perry's actually a nice guy. He has responded to me numerous times via email on inquiries. Didn't tell me much, but at least he responded. I respect that. He basically said, Seth, and I'm going to show you his statement, then I'm going to show you, and this, yeah, he lashes out. Seth lashes out. Seth lashes out at the sheriff's office. He claims that Major Perry has information that Major Perry is going to release today about this case. This is what Seth's claiming, but is Seth telling the truth? Because other media outlets and other journalists that are on the ground, including Nick Barris, Burton Staggs, they put out that really there's going to be no information. No new information. So I don't know what Seth's trying to do here. My speculation is Seth Rogers is trying to drum up support to play victim, so then he can get more troops to the Sumner County Sheriff's Office to do this so-called protest, masked as supporting Sebastian. But we know it's a protest. It's a protest to clear Seth's name. I personally, at this point, folks, you might not like my opinion about this matter, but I don't co-sign or endorse anything that these people do from this point forward. I just don't. Not knowing about who this guy really is, no way. And, Seth had an army of team that pretty much all he kicked away. Lots of people that are generally good people, I believe. And at this point forward, any schemes that they concoct or anything like that, yeah, we'll cover it. But I don't believe anything they say out of their mouth. Well, I mean, I'm not going to say that, anything they'll say, but I'm just saying take it at face value. Take it as a grain of salt. Listen at least. But they seem like they're trying to do something here. Seth Rogers put out this statement on his YouTube channel last night. So he does have a YouTube channel. So I'm going to show you make sure the authenticity of this statement. It's coming from his YouTube channel. So it's either him or someone posting for him on his channel. And here's his channel. You guys know Seth Rogers, Sebastian's father. It has 5,968 subscribers. And he put out this statement 13 hours ago. And I'm going to show you so you see this statement here. You can see this is his channel. This is his channel. You got videos. You got a couple lives, right? We know this is run by Seth. He has made videos on this channel before, live. This is him. There's Tony Lee Mathis, the scammer. Okay, so they're all, this is his statement that he made last night. So I'm going to show you this statement. So it isn't about the lack of humanity. So here we go. Here it is. I blew it up. This is what Seth Rogers said last night. It isn't about lack of humanity. It's about evil versus good. Major Tim, Sumner County Sheriff's Office, informed me today that when I called him, so Seth called him about Sebastian, that they have information on the case but don't feel like sharing it with me today. He said they will share that information tomorrow, which is today. Why does my son have to wait till tomorrow? He is important to me every day, yesterday, today, and tomorrow. When will they when will they going to remember that they are supposed to protect and serve the people and stop serving themselves? Now, what in the world does this mean? Why did Seth call the sheriffs yesterday? Seth has said in prior statements, he's calling out Perry. But it gets worse, folks. I'm going to show you how it gets worse. Let me see if I got the actual clip. This is what, we're going to play this, and then we're going to play this additional clip here. Now listen to this. This is what he put out yesterday. So either Seth is doing this on his own, or someone is encouraging him to fire back at the Sumner County Sheriff's Office. That's a slight right there. That's nothing positive. He's acting like, it seemed to me, he's acting like the Sumner County Sheriff is evil and they're good. Meaning Seth is good and the sheriffs are evil. And he's claiming that he called Tim Perry, and Tim Perry got some information. Now listen to this. Gets even worse. Listen what to Seth Rogers. And I shout out to Jay for Justice for clipping this up. I don't know how she obtained this. This was at the Sebastian ride, right? That was at the brewery, the Sebastian ride. I heard a few motorcycles came out, a few people came out. They did a ride, they came back. A few people were standing around Seth, and Seth spoke on the microphone. And this is what Seth said. This is what Seth said about Sumner County sheriffs.
I'm tired of the incompetence of the people who are supposed to protect our kids. They're supposed to protect us. They're supposed to keep our community safe. And yet they don't. And nobody holds them accountable or responsible. And it's the community that's supposed to be holding them responsible. Right now, they're holding an election for some douchebag that doesn't even understand that I am missing my son. I just want to thank everybody for showing up.
He called Sumner County Sheriff Eric Craddock a D-bag.
I'm tired of the incompetence of the people who are supposed to protect our kids. They're supposed to protect us. They're supposed to keep our community safe.
He's saying they're not competent.
They don't. And nobody holds them accountable or responsible. And it's the community that's supposed to be holding them responsible. Right now, they're holding an election for some douchebag that doesn't even understand that I am missing my son.
So he calls Eric Craddock a D-bag, while Tony Mathis has his hand on his shoulder, and they want to know why the sheriffs. And you heard people gasp in that crowd. Like, you could hear it. Seth called the Sumner County Sheriff's incompetent. And all they're worried about is an election of a D-bag. Now, is that lashing out? I would say it is, right? Forgotten. I know people are reminding me in the chat, and I wanted to say this at the beginning. Dolly is a creator that is, has been covering this case. I'd never met Dolly. I don't know him, but I know he's been covering this case. I want to give best wishes and hope Dolly's okay. I heard Dolly had a heart attack. That's what PJ Vision put on her page, that Dolly had a heart attack. So I do want to say, praying for them and hope for the speedy recovery of Dolly. Dolly has a way to share about this case. He's a little comical about it, but he's boots on the ground, and I think he's been doing a great job on the Sebastian case. He's keeps everyone informed, and so shout out to Dolly. I hope he's okay. It's never good to hear people having heart attack. We take our health. We got to take our health seriously, and anything can happen to any of us at any given time. So prayers to Dolly, prayers to Dolly supporters. And PJ and Dolly, hopefully he is well and he's back on the air. Talking about Tony Brows, right, Dolly? Talking about Tony Brows, right? He comes up with a nickname. He calls Tony Mathis Tony Brows. I never really understood the Tony Brows. Is that because of the brows, like the eyebrows? But this is so crazy because I also want to show you something else. I think this is all theatrics, folks. I think this is all like smoke and mirrors and just a farce and a fake, and it's all a show for the cameras. So while Seth is there calling Craddock a D-bag, check this out right here. This was also filmed at the event. Now watch this. Cameras are rolling. Tony has his arm on Seth's shoulder. And Tony tells others to put their arms around Seth, like almost like an act. Like, oh look, the cameras. Make sure we're comforting Seth for the cameras. Now look at this. Look at this right here.
In Bellevue, but we work the entire Nashville area. We're actually work the tri-state area, and our focus is on parents. We work with parents who have kiddos with autism, and our main goal
See that?
is through the playbook that we've created through the help and the worry and just the parents. We work with parents who have kiddos with autism, and our main goal is through the playbook that we've created through the help and in Bellevue, but we work the entire Nashville area. We're actually work the tri-state area, and our focus is on parents. We work with parents who have kiddos with autism, and our main goal is through the playbook that we've created through the help and the worry and just the parents. We work with parents who have kiddos with autism, and our main goal is through the playbook.
See that? Hey, put your hands on his shoulder. Put your hand on his shoulder. It's a scam, folks. It's a scam. It's 100% scam. Not surprising, right? Tony Mathis, hands all over this. And now they're lashing out at the Sumner County Sheriffs, putting their arms around. Tony wants to be right next to Seth at all times. Almost not like Tony's like literally like a fly on someone and won't let go. And has all these ways he wants to do things. Now, what information does Major Tim Perry of the Sumner County Sheriffs, what type of information will he be sharing today on this case? And why is Seth saying, when are they, and he spelled it wrong, when are they going to remember that they are supposed to protect and serve the people and stop serving themselves while calling them a D-bag? I'll never understand that. Why would you go against a force that's trying to find his son? By the way, moving forward, Seth can't claim that he's not talking to law enforcement, because out of all the times he's The day before their protest, he calls Major Perry. He calls the Perry yesterday on his phone. Steph can't claim at this point that he's not speaking with Sumner County Sheriff because he stated yesterday he spoke with Major Perry. Now, will they be giving out a statement today? Maybe Seth is right. Maybe they're right. Maybe they will give out a statement, but maybe a statement like nothing of nothing. Just like, hey, this is Sebastian, 6 months. Kind of like what they did with Summer Wells. Remember what they did with Summer Wells on these anniversaries? 1 year, 6 months, 2 years. They'll just say, hey, thoughts and prayers. We're actively, pursuing this case. We're getting thousands and thousands of tips. You know what I mean? Seth lashes out. But no, while Seth is lashing out at the sheriff, Eric Craddock posted something on his Running for Sheriff Facebook post right here yesterday. He posted this yesterday. So apparently he is the Republican nominee for sheriff. And he says, "Thank you, Sumner County. I am incredibly grateful to the hundreds of individuals who show up and participated in yesterday's Republican caucus. Sheriff Sonny Weatherford's dedicated service has left a lasting legacy that I aim to honor and build upon. Thank you to the Republican Party of Sumner County. I am extremely honored and proud to accept the Republican nomination to be your next Sumner County Sheriff." So did things like this trigger Seth to lash out at the sheriff? Why is Seth so mad at the sheriff? And Seth better look out. Because there is a criminal investigation right now, folks. And this could be, I don't know. I don't know what he's trying to do here. I don't know. Or is it a guy just want to generally find Sebastian? He's not getting answers. But I just told you, he's never going to get the answers he wants with this guy on his back, at least. That's the least of it. But this guy being involved with this guy, Seth ain't going to get any information. I don't believe. But Seth claims that Perry's going to give him information. What type of information? What could it be? We covered a case on this. We covered a case on this channel. Allison Chow. Allison Chow was the little girl that went missing, and it ended up being a hoax. And the dad ended up hiding her. Right, Allison Chow. Right, we talked about that case. But did you know with the Allison Chow case, the authorities told Allison Chow's father to come to the station. Come to the station. We got something for you. You know what I mean? In reference to your daughter. Come see your daughter after she was found. And when he arrived at the station, guess what they did to Allison Chow's father? They put him in cuffs. They put him in handcuffs. Now, I can tell you with 100% certainty, folks, there is an active, open case right now, not just with Sebastian. And I do believe the Sebastian Rogers case is criminal. If you don't think it's criminal, I don't know what universe you live on. The DA is involved. The DA had Katie and Seth in there at one point looking at surveillance and whatnot. The DA's hands on this case. They're not going to tell you it's a criminal. They might tell us today it's a criminal. Who knows? I don't know. But we know it's a criminal. We know it's always been a criminal case. But there's also another criminal case that's open. And this is a criminal case dealing with the harassment and stalking of the Proudfoots. There is a criminal case number. There is an investigation underway. One person is in trouble with the law. That's centered around these guys. But I told you guys, my sources, and my sources I trust, protect, know. And, my sources have told me these two guys are also under investigation. All of them are under investigation for harassing the Proudfoots. And when I say that is because this guy here, knowing the Proudfoots, knowing that he knows the Bower Sox, he's been communicating with Katie all these years, talking about Sebastian via email, via text, phones, whatever, communications. It's my understanding that the investigation is centered around Seth providing him and others phone numbers, emails of the Proudfoots. And then these people take that information and do whatever with it. And when I say do whatever with it, call them, harass them, call them throughout the night. Where's Sebastian? Where's Sebastian? Katie blowing up her phone's text on burner accounts. Where's Sebastian? You're involved. You're a monster. You did it. You're a murderer. Katie, you're going to jail. We're coming to get you. We're coming to get you. This, that, and the other. So Katie, according to my sources, filed police reports. The Proudfoots filed police reports. And in these police reports, you're going to hear, if they ever come out, and then maybe they will. Maybe the case is closed, but it's not closed. Maybe these police reports will come out. But you're going to be shocked what you learn in these police reports. And I trust my sources. In these police reports, you're going to hear numerous instances of harassment and stalking. But it does go back on him. That's what my sources tell me. Now, whether that's true or not, I don't know. I'm not saying he committed a crime. I'm not saying he committed a crime. Someone else is going through the legal process, criminal process with this. But all these same people, the same group of people now have plans and aspirations to take their action, their direct action, right to the sheriff. Something is brewing here, folks. Something is brewing. And I'm just wondering, due to the fact that there's an open investigation dealing with that, not Sebastian, but it, bleeds in. But are they trying to say, oh yeah, come to the sheriff's office, Seth. We'll provide you that information tomorrow. Come on over. And something's going to happen. We'll see. I don't know. Is Seth really going to show up at the sheriff's office today? Or Tony? Or are they going to send other people to do their dirty work? It'd be interesting to know what happens today, whether these two individuals actually show up. If he doesn't show up today at the sheriff's office and the others do, that would be shameful, wouldn't it? Where a leader is supposed to lead, right? A leader of they said, you know what is interesting at this vigil the other day? The speaker there, he was wearing green, big dude with tats. He was a pretty big dude. I don't know who that guy was. He was wearing something like Truth Autism. Remember that guy? He was wearing like Truth Autism. He basically said that Seth is the leader. We look up to you, Seth. You are the leader to this. We go as far as you want to go. It's pretty much what he said. Have any of you guys watched that yesterday? Or that on that thing on Saturday? The event? So it will be very interesting today, folks, if Seth shows up. And if he doesn't and the others do, what does that tell you? What does that tell you? I posted this yesterday, and I said, it appears Seth and Tony and company are ramping up for a showdown with Sumner County Sheriffs. I think this now has escalated where they're just like throwing all their chips in on this and just like, Seth, what do you got to lose? Go at the sheriff. Go at Craddock. Go at the sheriff. But is today a protest or a rally? Or both? Could be both. Somebody just said in the chat, the event on Saturday, there was only like 5 motorcycles there. There wasn't a lot. There weren't a lot of people. There's really the only people that were promoting this was the people within them. But most of the Sebastian Rogers groups weren't even touching this as far as like co-signing it or validating it. It's that bad, folks. Let's be real. It's that bad. If Seth was beloved and Tony was beloved in this situation, there would have been thousands and thousands of all the groups would have been like, yo, we got to rally around Seth, and he would have had an army. But I'll tell you what, if we take us back 5 months ago and he wasn't in the picture and those people that are centered around him now weren't in the picture and the original people were in play and he announced that there would have been a Sebastian ride without him in the mix, there would have been 10,000 people there. I think there would have been 10,000 people there. But that's at the time without knowing a lot about the case. You got to really focus on this case and understand who the players and the participants are in the backstory. And until you do that, then you'll understand about this and want to learn a little bit more about who these people are. You know, what I've learned in my own covering cases and everything like that is, you know, really you can be bamboozled at the beginning, and you can, you know, you go with your heart and you want to just do what's right. But now moving forward, I might just take a step back and just pause the brakes a minute and evaluate the situation and understand what's going on. He called me up and wanted me to go search with him 100 miles away from where Sebastian was missing, and I really didn't understand why he was taking me all the way out there by Jackson, Tennessee, and Natchez State Park, and why he was taking me out there to look for Sebastian. And now in retrospect, I'm like, in hindsight, I'm like, yo, was I bamboozled here? Like, why was I all the way out here 100 miles away when Sebastian went missing in Hendersonville in Sumner County? Why am I looking all the way out here in Jackson at a park? But I just went to show support because I felt bad. But I will never understand that. Was I misled? And then there were subsequent searches down there by the water, way, you know, far from Sebastian's home. And, you know, I could never understand, like, a place where a tornado hit, a federal park where a tornado hit. Like, I don't understand why there. Why there? It was like, and I don't even think police understood, because that so-called scent that was found, remember that scent that was found? A body was found. It was never a body. It was a fake hit. But even that, they call the police, and the police never even come, because they didn't even take that place seriously, because it's just so far away. It makes no sense. It's just like me looking around my woods around here in Florida and saying, oh, yeah, I'm searching for Sebastian. Oh, I found a piece of clothing. Sumner County, come check it out. Things don't make sense. Now, today, there's 2 media outlets so far. 2. Let me look. Let me make sure there's so far there's 2 that are reporting about today, the anniversary today. And there should be more. But they're reporting it as if there's a rally outside the Sumner County Sheriff's Office. They say a rally.
Today marks 6 months since 15-year-old Sebastian Rogers vanished from his home in Hendersonville. This morning, a rally is planned at the Sumner County Courthouse to keep the case in the public eye. Peyton Kennedy's here with more on all the timing of this.
Yeah, Neil, Sebastian's father says he's been told that they will receive new information on the investigation today. Meanwhile, the rally is happening at the same time this morning as the county plans to name an interim sheriff filling the vacant position. This appointed officer will hold that position until a special vote happens in the November general election. Family and those close to the case say they want to keep the investigation going and hope finding Sebastian will stay a priority under this new leadership. There's been no sign of Sebastian since his disappearance, but his father, Seth, says he believes he is alive and he continues to search for Sebastian. Sebastian, again, he's 5'5", 120 pounds, dirty blonde hair. Anyone with information, call the Sumner County Sheriff's Office or 1-800-TBI-FIND. We'll be at the rally this morning and we'll share that latest information with you on News 2 at 11.
Why isn't the media doing their research? This is not a rally. They've already emphasized that this is a protest against the Sumner County Sheriff's Office. It's not a rally. It's not a rally. Not a rally. Not a rally. Here's another one. I'll show you another one. There's another news report. Let me see if I get this other one right here. There's one around here. Is this? No, it's the same one. It's not a rally. It's a protest, folks. It's a protest against Sumner County. Coincidentally, on the 26th, on the 6th month, and today they're going to vote in a sheriff to hold the spot until the election. You know it's Craddock. I think Craddock's doing a great job. I think Craddock is more than... I think he's... Listen, based off what I found out about this case, about the players involved, I think Craddock is doing the best he can. But these guys, I don't know what they're trying to do here. But again, I think it's more about money. I think it's more about donations, foundations. Look at this. Tony Mathis. Tulsa World. 2011. Filed for bankruptcy. This was Tony. Tony Lee Mathis. Game Time, LLC. $549,800. He filed for bankruptcy. That was like this third bankruptcy. It's like his third bankruptcy. We shared a lot about Tony Mathis yesterday and all his financial misfit. We shared about all his bankruptcies. We shared about all his failed businesses. We shared about all his judgments against him, accumulating hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt. Mr. Mathis, he's been sued over 25 times, majority of them successfully in default judgments. He's been sued by schools, churches, business owners, people, banks, companies. He's had numerous failed businesses, him and his wife. Now he's tagging along Seth, and it seems like he's pulling Seth's strings. Remember, everything goes through Tony, right? Everything goes through Tony. Everything. Tony's like the guy, right? He said it. He's hired to protect Seth. He's hired. Everything goes through Tony. Everything goes through Tony. But Seth somehow is either brainwashed, in on it, naive, doesn't care. I don't know what they're thinking. But it's almost like continue to dig yourself deeper and deeper and deeper into this hole. And then they cry like, oh, we're not getting information. The law enforcement's not cooperating. Duh. When you call him a D-bag, when you call Eric Craddock a D-bag in front of the world at a place that's supposed to be about Sebastian, and we don't even use profanity. That's why I said D-bag. I asked Magnolia beforehand. I said, should I say the word, the actual word? I was going to say the actual. He's like, no, don't say the word. We try to make it PG on JLR Investigates, right? I'm not a man that likes to use profanity. I try to prefer not to. Sometimes it slips. If it slips, I apologize. But I try my best not to use profanity. But it seems like Seth has a potty mouth. So does Tony. He says BS a lot. I'm tired of this BS. Ugh. Look at this. At the same time, Seth lashes out. People responding to his comment yesterday about the sheriffs. And he said the sheriff's office, this is what Seth said yesterday. Sebastian deserves better. The sheriff's office has failed him. Look at that, folks. That is Seth Rogers basically coming out right now saying that the sheriff's office has failed him. How is he going to regain any trust? The bridge has been broken, folks. Okay, but maybe some of you might agree with Seth here. Someone said in the chat, projection. Projection on Seth, right? It's projection on Seth. No, Seth Rogers, maybe you failed Sebastian. Maybe you failed Sebastian, Seth Rogers. Why has it got to be the sheriff's office who are highly liked in that area? Why do you got to sit there and call these sheriffs derogatory names? He also said this. He also lashed out and said this. They are denying Sebastian justice for what he has and is going through. What in the world does that mean? Why does Seth Rogers insist that Sebastian is alive? He's saying this in real time, like this is real. They are denying Sebastian justice for what he has and is going through. What does that mean? What does that mean? So he's so adamant that Sebastian is alive. And under no circumstances will he accept any other outcome. Now, maybe that's because you don't want to give up hope. But what does he mean by that? CJ's Crime Concepts is in the chat. CJ, I wanted to play a clip because you posted something today. Very, very interesting, too. Listen what CJ posted. And if you guys haven't checked out this channel now, CJ was out there, too. He's boots on the ground. We love the boots on the ground. He's also boots in the ground in Micah Miller's case. He's there. But he was out there searching. That's the time when he rolled up on Robin Rogers by accident, whatever, and Robin Rogers was saying that Chris was taking down signs or whatever like that, creating that kind of craziness. But CJ posted something today, and I want to share this with you. Thanks for being in the chat, CJ. This is Seth said something to Vinnie Politan the other day. Now, this might be something to something or nothing to nothing, but the fact it goes with like it's strange. Let me just say it's strange. This is very, very strange right here. So this is CJ. Now watch.
Things just don't make sense. I mean, we're talking about, first of all, we're talking about a male child that left his house with nothing. A teenager that left the house with nothing. No phone, no switch, possibly no shoes, no backpack. I mean, completely unprepared.
Whoa, he said possibly no shoes.
Possibly no shoes.
He said possibly. That's the first time I've heard him say possibly.
Me too.
I've never caught that before.
That's
I
the
never
first
caught
time
that
I heard
either.
him say
Possibly no shoes. What does that mean? Possibly. He's saying no this, no that, no nothing, and then suddenly says possibly no shoes. It's not making sense, people. It's not making sense at all. It's as if Seth knows. I'm serious. It's as if Seth knows. And maybe authorities do know and have their eyes on Seth, but Seth has to find a way to act like he's not involved by drumming up people to rally behind him, saying they're not doing their job right or they're corrupt. So when they do come out with something, people can have support for him if they blame him. And I'm not saying he's involved. I'm just saying this is so weird. It's all weird at this point. It makes no sense. Why protest in front of a sheriff's office on this day? Where was that other clip I had? I had two clips. I'm trying to find this other clip. I probably don't have it. It was probably the same clip. It makes no sense, folks. There's something weird going on here. Something weird. Nick Barris put out, Burton Staggs, by the way. Oh, I like Burton Staggs. He's a local journalist, blogger. He pretty much put out Seth's statement that he put on YouTube, and he says, Seth Rogers posted this on the eve of the 6-month anniversary of Sebastian Rogers' disappearance. My sources tell me that tomorrow law enforcement will acknowledge the 6-month mark, but there is nothing really new. So where is Seth coming up with this thing that's saying that there's going to be information? Burton Staggs, who has local contacts up there, he's a really big personality up there. He's saying that there's going to be nothing new. Nothing new. Nothing new. Nick Barris also put out something yesterday, or the day before. Yeah, I don't know, was it 22 hours ago? And there's really nothing new. Sadly, there is nothing new to report. Hard to believe, 6 months. It's been 6 months. 6 months tomorrow since Sebastian Rogers' disappearance without a trace from his Hendersonville, Tennessee home. And there continues to be great interest in this case. Case in point, a lot of you in this chat. I continue to check in with Sumner County EMA, the Sheriff's Office, my sources with the TBI, District Attorney Ray, and others. Sadly, there is nothing new to report. And usually he says the same thing on this rest. It's usually copied and paste, kind of like the same. The point is, you got Nick Barris, who is a trusted reporter. Seth doesn't like him for some reason. I don't know why Seth doesn't like him. Seth told me he doesn't like him. because Nick put out those videos on the lights. So you got Nick Barris, a reporter, nothing new to report. You got Burton Staggs, local there, blogger, journalist, has a lot of sources within law enforcement. He's saying nothing new. But Seth is saying there's something new coming out. Is this a scam by Tony and Seth to drum up support? Did Seth really call Major Tim Perry on the phone? I thought Seth doesn't communicate with law enforcement. But then suddenly, yesterday, on the eve of this so-called protest, Seth talks to the sheriff's office? Make that make sense. Can someone make that make sense? I can't. I don't know what makes sense anymore. Oh, man. See, Dolly. Shout out to Dolly. Look. This was just presented to me. So I'm sorry you're going through this, Dolly. Dolly had a heart attack last night. We want to get Dolly back because Dolly, actually, he was up at the Monta Kaffelbot search last weekend. Dolly looks like he's in good shape. But anyone can have a heart attack. Anyone can have health problems. We don't want to see anyone sick on JLR Investigates. So we're praying for his speedy recovery for sure. I don't want to see anything bad happen to these two. As much as we're calling them out, I don't want to see anything bad happen to anybody, health-wise or anything like that. But I do want accountability. If someone did something to Sebastian, they should be held accountable. But if Seth said today he was in the hospital, we would say on JLR Investigates, as much as we're calling him out on this craziness, we say we wish Seth a speedy recovery. We hope Seth has a speedy and safe recovery. Tony, too, despite what he said with me when I was in the hospital. He told me, he was saying derogatory things when I was in the hospital. But if Tony was in the hospital, I'd say right now, wishing Tony a safe and speedy recovery. We keep it classy on JLR Investigates. So what's going to happen today, folks? Is anyone going to get arrested today? There's rumor out there that's saying that the scanners were lit last night. Sumner County, there's people in the Sebastian Rogers groups that were saying the scanner was lit with calls last night from the Bower Sox calling authorities on people. Wonder who that is. Will somebody be getting arrested today? Is Seth Rogers telling the truth? Will there be violence today at this protest, aka rally? I want to put in Sebastian Rogers in Twitter to see what... Oh, and there was another... Yeah, a matter of fact, right here. Here's another reporter. And I actually corrected the reporter. This reporter right here, Peyton Kennedy... Matter of fact, hold on, give me 1 second. I got to turn the volume off. This other report here on, because then we'll echo. Okay, so this reporter here also calls today a rally. It's not a rally. It's a protest. Unless they now changed it because they got caught and now they're trying to say, this is a rally. Today marks 6 months since Sebastian Rogers vanished from his Hendersonville home. This morning, a rally is planned to keep the case alive. Sebastian's father says he's expecting new information from the sheriff's department as well. So Seth's putting this out. New information.
And Neil, Sebastian's father, Seth, says he's been told they'll receive new information on the investigation today. Meanwhile, the rally is happening at the same time this morning as the county plans to name an interim sheriff, filling the vacant position. This appointed officer will hold the position until a special vote happens in the November general election.
Yeah, we played that, the same clip we played earlier. This is coming from a journalist. WKRN News. They're calling it a rally. I responded and said, hello, Peyton. It's a protest, not a rally. The organizers made it clear they are protesting at the Sumner County Sheriff's Office to clear Seth's name. Will there be any arrests today? Will anyone be taken out in cuffs? Remains to be seen. But that's Seth lashing out. I know some people in the chat were saying before I even came on, this is clickbait, JLR. This is clickbait. No, it's not clickbait. Seth lashed out at the police department, at the Sumner County Sheriff's Office. He's lashing out. Clearly, I showed you the receipts. We showed receipts on JLR Investigates. He's lashing out. He called Sheriff Craddock a D-bag. Doesn't get any worse than that unless you think it's acceptable and it's okay. It's okay to call law enforcement that. Why is Seth so angry at law enforcement? Is Tony pulling his strings, or is he generally angry at law enforcement? Why? But why? But why? What is going on that we don't know about? If Seth's saying he's not getting the information, that's what Seth's version is. There's always two sides of the coin. What's so crazy is when Seth says these things, like on his YouTube video, he got a bunch of people commenting, sorry you're going through this, Seth. F the Sumner County Sheriffs. They need to come clean. And like, they're just believing what he says at face value. But there's always two sides of the story. One side might say something, but if the other side stays quiet, everyone just assumes what Seth is saying is the truth. But Seth hasn't been so truthful when it comes to this case. A lot of discrepancies. A lot of weird things being said. We know he's not truthful at all. So, as long as we know he's not truthful, I can't believe anything he says, as long as they're together as frickin' frack, peanut butter and jelly. Clyde and Bonnie. I don't believe anything. I don't believe anything that they say. I don't believe anything that they're scheming. I don't trust it. We'll report it. This is where the gonzo journalism comes into play. Listen, I've been there. I've been around this guy. I've been boots on the ground. I understand this case very deeply. There's a lot I don't know. A lot I want to know. Sure, you want to know. So we'll see what happens today. We'll see what this is all about. I'll come back on in a bit as I get more information. It is the 6-month anniversary, Sebastian. Unfortunately, 6 months is too long. He hasn't been found. Let me know what you think in the comments, and thank you for watching this particular segment with JLR Investigates in the morning. And we are Team Sebastian. You can be Team Sebastian. You don't have to be Team Seth. Don't have to be Team Tony. Don't have to be Team Katie or Chris. I'm Team Sebastian. I'm Team Sebastian. Thanks for watching. You guys have a good day. We cover true crime 24/7, 365 on JLR Investigates. See a lot of the other creators in the chat. Welcome aboard. You guys are doing great work too. Everyone's doing good, man. Everyone's playing their part to get get this out there. And the power of YouTube. The power of YouTube and free speech. We'll talk soon. Have a good day. JLR Investigates.